Hey everybody, it's us again. This is Soph,
This is Rich
and we are from
from
across
across
the
the pond.
pond.
Rich, how was your weekend?
My weekend was very eventful. I had to get a haircut, as people can see.
We can see shaped up nicely.
Thank you very much. And I had a friend of mine come over here and show me some home improvements. He helped me fix a screen door, which I, I'm not. I'm gonna tell everybody I am not one of those fix it myself type of guys. So I'm glad and fortunate that I have friends who know how to do all that jazz.
You're no good at DIY?
No, I'm not. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done some projects that like I'm very proud of, but if you were to ask me to do it again, I'd probably be like, no.
So you're not going to be starting a new career in fixing garage doors anytime soon?
Oh no. Mm-mm. Screen door. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What do you mean by screen door?
All right, you have like a regular door, and then you have like a screen door that, like, if it was nice out, you can open up your main door and have your screen door.
So it's like a net, like mesh?
It's glass and mesh. Yeah, you can pull the glass part out and just leave a screen. That's
Oh,
why they call it a screen door, because it has like a screen in it.
whoa, you learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Screen door. Anything else occur?
Y'all don't have a screen door or a storm door?
A storm door? Oh my God, it's getting worse. No, we have like things that you can put up, not on your garage door, just on your normal everyday front or back
No,
door of
like
your
a
house.
regular door. I didn't say my garage door.
Oh, it's on your regular door?
Yeah, it's just a regular screen door. Yeah.
Oh, why did I
That,
think it was your garage door?
I don't know.
Obviously, I haven't had enough sleep.
Maybe, I don't know. Um, so my brother came over, my homeboy was over, and we commenced to just getting straight into it. We watched The Tenant and drank something serious yesterday.
Something serious or a serious
Yeah,
amount?
pretty much the same.
Oh,
Ugh. And then it snowed.
oh, again?
Yeah, it snowed again, but it didn't stay long. I mean, it was a steady, but and then because it's so warm, it melted away already. It started turning into like sleet. Now
Well,
it's
I ain't gonna
gone.
lie. The weather app said we would do 100. Like when you look at the weather app, it breaks it down per hour, and it claimed that yesterday was 100% chance of snow. We didn't have a flake. None.
I mean, that's the only job that you can not get in trouble for lying.
I know, right? It changes all the time because it said 100% chance of snow yesterday, 60% today, and then a couple of days, I think Monday and Tuesday in the week. Well, now I've looked at it, there's zero snow apart from Thursday when potentially there might be 40% chance. So,
And I don't know if people have been looking at our Instagram, but we have a nice post-it. We have issued out one of our first merchandise purchase, and that young man has received it
yep, shared
and
it.
he loves it. Hmm.
Hmm.
And then we give out thank yous to people that we've interviewed, or won packages, um, or contributed in any way. And my friend Knox, who has a single coming out, he's a local entertainer here. I want to say entertainer because he can do a lot more than just
Like
rap.
jingles.
Yeah, he has done our jingle, and he even posted his thank you mug on his Instagram. So I
Can I
am,
just say, these mugs are available to purchase. If you would like one, please contact us, message or text, or send a carrier pigeon with a note.
yeah, or smoke signals.
Wow, yeah. There you go. So my weekend, not really a lot. I took my aunt shopping. food shopping before anyone says, where did you go? Because there's a lockdown. Food shopping in the supermarket. And my boy came home today.
Alfie,
Love him.
Alfred Frost.
So much. But yeah, other than that, I haven't had snow. I didn't get drunk, and that's that. Here we are, landed and popped up for Serious
Sunday.
Now, I'm just going to tell everyone from our Wednesday meeting, Serious Sunday has changed.
Yes, it has changed. We changed in a good reason. This is probably the second time we've had to do this because we both got excited about this topic.
Well, to say I got excited, well, everyone will find out. I personally
mind blown,
shocked. But yeah, we had our Wednesday meeting. What do you want to talk about Friday? What do you want to talk about Sunday? And then literally 24 hours later, I had a conversation with someone and I was like, no. And do you know, okay, let's tell everyone, we're going to talk about Black History Month, right?
Yes.
The other reason we've moved it is because obviously it's going to go on all month. And we did say we were going to talk about it at some point. What's the point of talking about it at the end of the month? It's gone. We may as well talk about it now. Get
it out there.
Get it out there. Anyone who does follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, we have Twitter, indeed. We have been trying to educate people, around Black History Month with our posts, because we like to keep them,
invested in us.
But one of the biggest things is, I didn't know, over there across the pond, you have Black History Month now in February.
The shortest month of the year. Yes.
Well, in England, Black History Month ain't actually till October.
What?
So I was exactly my face and what I said. I was like, what? So when we talk about it, obviously we're going to talk about it in America, but I found out this is the reason why, because I was like, why? What is the point? So it says, in the US, Black History Month was originally for 1 week, called Negro History Week. Sorry, I had to say it says it in the thing.
Okay, Negro History Week.
It was conceived by historian Carter G. Woodson in 1926.
Mm-hmm.
The week was chosen because it coincided with I can't even say that. I said it earlier. Emancipator Abraham Lincoln's birthday and Frederick Douglass's birthday, which Black communities have celebrated since the 19th century. Okay, So then in the UK, the reason it's on a different month is because it goes without saying that US Black History Month has inspired the UK version. If you had it first, clearly you inspired it. However, they are different roots which underpin the month. It's down to fundamental differences between the two countries. In short, America's Black history is not the same as UK's Black history. And Black UK citizens have different histories and life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that, my friends, is the reason why you are now and we are then. We're followers, and this is why you should have yours first. We copied you. So obviously you got to have yours first.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But then also, when listening to you, Blacks in Britain have different struggles than what we've had here. Mm-hmm. So that being said, I can see that why theirs are celebrated differently. Because I've watched that
Adulthood, Kidulthood?
No, Lovers Rock.
Oh, okay.
They talked about, a lot of the Blacks in Britain came over from the islands. So they have different customs and stuff like that. Yes. And their segregation was a little bit different than ours. And I think it started a little later after ours. So I get it. But this is the kicker, though. The education of Black history is what we're really going to get to the meat of.
Yeah, because this is what made us us change our mind about the subject. For the simple fact is, I was thinking about, okay, when we get to talking, what are we going to say about it? And I thought, what did I learn in school in history, right? All I learned about really was Henry VIII, kings, Romans, Tudors, Roman Catholics, Tudors, World War One, World War Two. There wasn't anybody of color apart from Tutankhamun, right? Who, I'm not being rude, he didn't actually really change history, did he? He got wrapped in tissue paper and got buried under a stone with his gold. He hasn't really done anything substantial, if you like, I don't think, compared to other people. So I called up my friend. I said, yo, what did we learn in history at school? She said the same. Roman Catholics, Tudors, kings and queens, whatever. Roll on our beautiful mate Harry. I said, yo, where's Harry? Let's ask him, because obviously it's been somewhat 30 years since we was at school, not going to lie. So he comes along. I said, Harry, can I ask you some questions, research for the show? Of course, he was more than happy to oblige. I said to him, what do they teach you in history?
Yeah.
He said, well, we learned about the Romans and the Tudors, and we're learning about kings and queens and castles at the minute. Now, that's clearly the same as what we learned, right? So I said to him, may I ask you a question? He said, yes. I said, do you know who Martin Luther King is? Do you know what he said?
What?
Oh, he was the first black president, wasn't he? I said, okay. I said, okay, do you know who Malcolm X is? And he went, no, sorry, I don't. I was like, okay. So then I thought, right, maybe he's too young. Called up my other friend who's got two teenage children, 13 and 14 or 13 and 15. I said, can you ask Maya, how, what do they teach you in school? Same thing, World War One, World War Two, Tudors, history, whatever. Does she know who, to be honest, I asked about Martin Luther King and I couldn't hear. It was a bad line. So then I said to her, okay, I said I couldn't hear. So Fiona then said to her, do you know who Malcolm X is? Do you know what she said?
What?
Oh, yeah, he protests for Black Lives Matter, right? Which, so wait for the icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. Let's hear it.
My mum come round and I was trying to explain to her, I'm shocked. I'm shocked about all this stuff I'm learning about, right? You know what she said? I'll tell you what I learned in history. I learned about the Romans, Tudors, the war, and about kings and queens and Henry VIII, which proves in 50 years the curriculum ain't changed one iota. She said, only person of colour I learnt about was Tutankhamun. How is that possible? How is that possible? I get you guys have different history to us, but
the curriculum has never changed.
The curriculum's never changed, right? That's point number one. Point number two, you tell me there is nobody of colour or of black heritage that they could teach us about that actually made a change in the world apart from bloody Tutankhamun, who never even really done anything.
Well, let me ask you a question.
And sorry to interrupt, they can't even say it's because it's not like, I get that Tudors, Romans, England, World War One, blah, blah, that's to do with England. I get that. Tutankhamun ain't English. So they can't even say it's because you're in the UK and, American history is American, not here. Tutankhamun ain't English history.
Take a deep breath, Mama. I got you on this one. But you know what, though? Really, nothing really changed over here. I did some research, and I'm gonna tell you, even growing up here, they focused a lot on Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, and then you had Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So you had Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, right? Then you had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Okay. And then you had little things in between that, like, they would throw little nuggets of knowledge. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I only remember a couple, and this is the only one I remember. George Washington Carver. Know who that is? The guy who founded Peanuts because he was an agricultural scientist.
We posted about him today. He was the first
Yeah.
guy to get
And
a
I'm
black
like,
guy to get a master's.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God. And then we had, which they just made a movie of not too long ago on Netflix, a young lady who invented like hair products for black women. And she was like the first female black billionaire. But that's about it.
Did
Now,
I'm only asking because I've seen the film. At school, did you learn about those black women that helped to build the rocket to go into space?
no, that movie just came out not too long ago. You're talking about
With
what is it?
the what's her name?
Taraji Pete was in it,
Yeah,
wasn't she?
yeah. So you
I
didn't
can't
learn
even
about
think.
those sort of people in school?
No, we didn't. And see nowadays, and then you heard of um certain sports figures, Jesse Owens, certain sports figures. What's my man's name? Number 42 that my man played. Uh, Chadwick Boseman played. I can't even think of.
Oh, I know that film. Yeah,
And
the baseball
but
dude.
yeah, the baseball movie. And I can't. And I'm gonna tell you, it's sad that we have a lot more to learn about. But in school, like I said, we only get it 1 month out of the year. And I'm gonna tell you, they talk about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, um, and that's about it.
So
Oh,
when you're
George
at
Washington
school,
Carver if you're in elementary school because it's about
when you're at
peanuts.
school, they don't teach you about Black history other than the 1 month. The rest of it is just
No, the
history.
rest of the year you're learning about the proclamation. You're learning about the Declaration of Independence. Now they do have like a little section where they talk about, Abraham Lincoln and the whole, slavery thing. Now, also there's a movie that came out that we watched in school that I actually had my kids watch because nowadays schools ain't really educating our kids as far as Black history. Like we had a Black history course in high school that was only like 1 semester, or but you always had history, world, and they call it world history because we talk about everything, but Blacks only get like a pinch of
Okay,
what's
so
going on in the world.
here's the $1 million question. Did you learn about Tutankhamun in school?
I don't even know who Tutankhamun is, and if we did,
Oh, he's
I
the
don't know.
guy, the pharaoh in Egypt, like
Oh, Egyptians?
yeah.
Yeah, we had a small section of that too.
Did
Um,
you get taught about English kings and queens like Henry VIII, who had 6 wives?
well, we had, like I said, we only had a little bit. It was more or less you get drilled in your head about slavery, Rosa Parks,
Mhm.
um, little bits of nuggets of knowledge, which to me is so unfair
Mm-hmm.
because like now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, when I was in school, we learned about Ben Franklin, um, what's it, George Washington, and then we had to learn all the presidents, which back then there was no Black president,
Mm-hmm.
so it was all these other presidents.
There was Martin Luther King.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's sad, but it's true.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you, I told my kids about Roots, and they was just like, "Well, what is that?" Because they don't even play it in school anymore. So you know what we did for a month of history for Black History Month 1 year when they came home from school and they didn't have nothing to do. We watched the episode of Roots until it was all over. And my kids was like, yo, this is dope. And then there's other stuff like um Most Def did a movie where
Like,
I think he did like the first open heart surgery or brain surgery or some
mhm.
joint that we don't really hear about. You know what I mean? I mean, we pretty much created a lot of what now society is made of.
I'm not going to
Period.
be fair. I'm not going to be fair. I'm not going to lie, right? And I don't mean to be uneducated, naive, whatever. But that movie I mentioned about the women who helped, at the space thing, I never even heard of them until that movie, and then when you read it and they're like, oh, it's a true story, I'm like, damn, you know.
Yeah. And
And
like I said, like it's just now, Harriet Tubman, we learned about those people. And then like if you went to a Baptist church, you learned about you had like little plays. Well, I grew up in a Baptist church, so we had like little Black History Month plays where little kids would act out like Frederick Douglass or Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, Plymouth Rock, that type of stuff. And then we got introduced to, Spike Lee's Malcolm X, great movie.
mhm.
But then you start learning about if it wasn't for some of these directors or writers that are trying to push Black culture out there, we would be lost.
Okay, and this is
Because you're
exactly what
not
I was going to
really
say.
lost.
I was thinking about obviously our show, trying to get the research about why they're different. And you know what I thought about earlier that I thought is really quite sad is like
Mhm.
I have a mixed race son. You've got sons.
Yeah.
If we want our sons and our daughters and our children to learn about people that have made a change in the world, and I'm not meaning, I probably ain't going to say this the right way, so I'm going to say sorry, but this is the only way I can think to say it. People that look like them, people that like would inspire them, they're not going to learn about it in school. The only way they're going to know about it is if we teach them at home. And
Mhm.
the English curriculum just proves that it hasn't changed in 50 years. So if I want my son to know, to have role models to look up to that look like him, to know that he can do something with his life, that you can achieve stuff, I've got to teach him that at home.
Mhm.
Otherwise he's not going to learn about Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Rosa
Yeah.
Parks, anybody. He's not going to know about them. He won't know who they are unless I teach him at home, which I think is really sad.
Yeah. But like you said, and you know what used to really get me upset is that they would say in history the reason why we learn history because we don't want history to repeat ourselves. But yet you leaving out like major parts of history. Like, like a lot of people don't know that a lot of the Asian people helped build the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we ain't getting taught that in school.
And this is
Or
this is the thing. Like I know, obviously, it's not. It's American Black History Month, not English Black History Month, UK, whatever, Britain, whatever you want to call it. But it's like people over here that constantly say, "Shut the borders, don't let any foreigners in." England's white. Blah blah blah. There was a period of time in history where Indians, Black people were invited to come here to help with like being doctors and stuff like that. So what? You
yeah.
invited them in. Now you don't want them here anymore. You're going to just send them back. I mean, how does that work out?
Oh yeah, well they've been always talking about sending us black. They always been talking about sending us back to Africa, but it ain't happening. Because I mean, like I said, we've created a lot of what people now don't even know that we contributed to, like the street light and
Okay, but
different
I
stuff
get
like
what you
that.
I get what you're saying, but let's just say one day they said, okay, you need to go back, blah blah blah. What about the people that are born and bred in that, like England, for example? So if they
Mhm.
say, right, where you were born is where you got to come back from, where you got to go back to. Well, there
Mhm.
are Black, Asian, Indian people born and bred in this country. So if you send people back to
Yeah,
where they come from, it's still not going to be white.
yeah, and the thing about it is like for instance, racism is never going to end. But I think with the society and what's been going on the last year, well, actually before last year, it's just last year was just brought to the forefront. Um, the thing of it is like people got to understand that like um racism is not, a part of the gene. It's you got to be taught to be racist. In my eyes, I mean, this is my opinion. I feel like you don't wake up or you don't come out the womb hating another race. You don't come out the womb not wanting to know about your culture. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and we did have this conversation when we had the topic on racism, and I do totally get what you're saying, but then it's like me, if that was the case, I
mhm,
was raised where people were saying, as long as you're happy and don't marry a black man, black men are this, black men are that, when you get
mhm,
to a certain point or a certain age,
mhm,
you can make up your own mind. Everything in life is about choices. Yes, you might have
mhm,
been told one thing, but when you see something different, it's then your choice whether you
mhm,
stay with that mindset and way of thinking or whether you grow some balls and make up your own mind. Hence why I have
mhm.
a mixed race child and I love black men. Just gonna get it out there.
And I'm gonna tell you, we've learned about and see a lot of people. Like my father was he was big on certain African authoritators or people that he just felt like Shaka Zulu. Do you know who Shaka Zulu is? Oh man, he was one of the greatest uh warriors that was, to me, was dope. He was just genius. And then that was a movie that we watched when I was coming up. Like we don't even get like specials anymore. Like you'll get like Roots came on actual TV to where like Roots was shutting down like everything. It came on TV. It was like a mini series,
Mhm.
and like we watched it like every day. To the point now, if I were to go out there and be like, "Yo, have you seen Roots?" And a lot of kids probably won't even know what Roots is. So, being said, and then like for instance, the Ben Carson story,
Mhm.
you know, and then Ben Carson, he goes in the White House and we ain't heard him he ain't do a lick of nothing for us or for anybody. They put him in charge of something urban development and he ain't do one thing for 4 years. Dude, stay in your lane. You're a doctor.
See,
But
this
what
is
do
the
you know
thing.
anything? You ain't been in the hood and I don't know how long. And see, that's the thing. Like, I hate now that we have Black History Month. First of all, it's not long enough.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, um, are we teaching our new generation anything?
Not only that, why is it only a month? Why are we
Why
only
is it? I
why do we
mean,
talk
why
about
ain't
black
it
history for 1 month and then what white history for 11 months? What's that all about? But I will say
exactly?
you
And
mentioned him
then,
earlier.
like I said, it's sprinkled in there so tiny
Okay, but
that
hold on. You just said, are we teaching our kids anything, right? You mentioned him earlier, George Washington Carver. Yeah, that's who we posted about today on Instagram because we're trying to put a post out. Maybe not every day. I mean, we'll try every day, but we'll definitely have every other day a history thing. So I put picture, bit of background about him history.
Mhm.
Somebody from the UK, a black woman, commented saying, I love this post. I'm now educated. No, I didn't know, but now I do.
You see what I'm saying? And this is a young woman. This ain't no kid.
So this is what I'm
These
saying.
are
It's not about
adults.
are we teaching our kids? It's about are we educating people in general?
Right. And I tell you, man, it's sad that the generation we have now, even with our music, like for instance, like right now, when we had this Black Lives Matter, they had a young man who sang a song about not wanting to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it went, through the roof, you
Viral.
know. And I'm like, we are still singing the same old, what's going on. Um, Change is gonna come. But we have all these artists out here now, music in general. We ain't getting none of that soulful stuff that we had back then. Like, come on now, like, yeah, we're not fighting for segregation, but god dang, we had, and then like I just posted that rap song where the guy was talking about the whole year of 2020, and he said it all in the same time
Mm.
that my man had his knee on my man's neck. That was so deep. But then guess what? They don't promote stuff like that.
Do you
You know what I
think that
mean?
people that are in a position to have a voice, do you think that they use it enough, or do you think that they get silenced, or what do you think the
I don't think they. I think some people are like so used to a certain way that they just accept it. I just feel like they just society accept certain things. Like for instance, we had black exploitation movies back in the day, like Blackula or The Mac or Coffee Brown, you know, um, and now those type of movies they called black exploitation, which they gave us they made us look like somewhat we overly fantasize about our world when in actuality that's how we was living back then,
Mm.
and we didn't really have any heroes. So we look to like Pam Grier, we look to like Richard Roundtree and other folks of that, Sidney Poitier, and now we got Denzel, you know what I mean, we had Chadwick Boseman, so Cicely Tyson. But the same thing though is that they don't push a lot of black movies with serious, tone in the movie. Like for instance, there was a movie that just came out called American Skin. And I'm telling you, it's a deep, deep movie.
Oh, is that one where they hold up the police?
Yeah.
We can't. I want to see that. We can't even get it over here. This is the annoying thing.
And this is the thing. It over here, this is how they would do it. They would only put it in the areas where it's predominantly black.
To be fair, they do the same here. What was that film? Oh, geez.
Like
I
if you
asked you
lived in
after
DC where it's predominantly black, the movie theater it's there.
after adulthood, kidulthood. I said to you there was another one. Blue balls, not blue balls. I meant old balls. Blue.
Marbles?
Oh, something. You said you'd already seen it, but yeah, the same thing. They only put it in cinemas in predominantly black areas. It didn't come to my town, and which is annoying because I want to see it. So if I want to see it, I've got to drive to London or wherever just to be able to watch it.
And they do that because I feel like the industry gets scared that we might really take this stuff, but we've been taking it serious. You know what I mean? Like we have a lot of movies that came out in the last year or so. The Harriet Tubman movie. There's a lot of movies that have come out that have done very well, but it's the same people. We've had like there's a lot of celebrities who do get upset about that. Like, you know, slavery, yes, it's embedded in us. We know all about slavery. How about, and it's true, how about we talk about after slavery? Like that movie about the lady, the first black billionaire, you know what I mean? Millionaire or billionaire.
You mean like positive images?
Yeah, like like I feel like we get oversaturated with the slavery movies to where like what was that one movie? 12 Years a
Oh
Slave.
yeah.
Like, those movies are good. They're good to remind us of where we come from. But now I feel like we're in a generation now where we should be promoting more positivity, black films, to where like it's educating our kids because they're definitely not getting it in school.
I'm not
They
gonna
def-
lie. I feel like I don't know what it's like over there, but here you do get movies that are 95, if not 100% black actors in. You get them, right? You only see them over here generally on Netflix. They wouldn't be on normal telly or
One thing I've noticed, and it's starting to be like this over here, that I've noticed in your movies that you guys have, y'all have the same black actors in the same
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 black movies, yeah.
they're successful, but there's no different. There's like a handful
Yeah.
of black actors, and they're in like every movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they're portraying they're either portraying mobsters or
Gangsters.
cops
Mm.
or murderers or rapists. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I feel like you can't talk about Black History Month without there being a race, like without it being about racism. That's just how it is. So can I tell you about something that happened? And I don't know if it's just a coincidence that it it's coincided with the fact that it's Black History Month in America, but
Hidden Figures was the movie. I was just letting you know that.
okay. Somebody posted, one of my friends posted on social media the other day that a leaflet came through their door. I said, have you still got that leaflet? They were like, yeah. So they sent me a picture, right? I don't know how much we've said it. This is the front, right? And the leaflet says, white Britons to be a minority by 2060. White Britons are already a minority in London, and according to Oxford professor and popular expert David Coleman, due to falling white birth rates and mass immigration, white Britons will be a minority by 2060, right? This is the back. I mean, the leaflet was scrunkled up, but this is the back. Goes on to say, join this movement, patrioticalternative.org.uk, going on about white Britons are already a minority. They make up just 66% of pupils in our schools. White birth rate makes up 59% in England. Over the past decades, it's rapidly gone down. The number of migrants coming into Britain has increased. Rapid expansion of a migrant population. Where's the bit that really actually flipping infuriated me? Hold on. It says migration is not enriching Britain, it is making it worse for a vast majority of people. But it isn't just about waiting lists for houses and rising prices. Mass immigration has an effect on our culture, our way of life, and even our safety. If you want to see an end to immigration, if you want to see an end to immigration, join us, like-minded, patriotic people, and let's make a difference. What an absolute, sorry, mum for swearing, crock of shit. In 2021, you're going to send a leaflet, post it through somebody's door saying that?
Well, that just goes to show you that the ignorance that still arises even across the pond.
But
I
you
mean,
get people like,
we got people here that stormed our capital
but this is
and
what I
think it was
mean.
okay and thought it was okay.
And that was on the news, right? Here it was on the news. And then you still get people, like my dad asking, do you think racism has got better over the years? How
No.
the fudge can you ask that question if A, you got white people storming the Capitol building, which is on the news for everybody to see. Then you got idiots like that posting leaflets. Somebody's gone out of their way to make that leaflet, pay them money to get it printed, and take time and effort to go and post it through people's doors. Man, these people have got too much time on their hands. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. And that being said, that just lets you know that it's out there. It is out there. It is real, and it's sad that they put a leaflet on someone's door. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, here, if somebody would have put that on somebody's door, it'd have been all over the news, and it would have been a problem here because that's how deep it goes. Like we're getting to the point now where cops are just snatching dudes up and they just maced a 12 year, I think it's like a 9 or 12-year-old little girl.
I thought she was 9.
Face.
I thought she was 9.
That was on social media. I mean, it's
Disgusting.
getting way out of hand. But like I said, if people would take the time out to be educated, not for just a month, but sprinkle it throughout the year, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can go to any little black kid right now and ask them who Washington or Ben Franklin is, and they'll quick to tell you. But then they'll beat you over the head with Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. You know what I mean? Like I said, George Washington Carver. These are like the people that like they try to beat in your head.
Okay, can I just say
But
something
there's
that you
more
know
than that.
me? It'll probably get me jumped on by heaps of people, but
Bring it.
God, how can I say it? In all the pictures that you see, Jesus ain't white.
Ooh, you're absolutely right about that.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we'll have to. That'll be a whole other subject right there. But
I'm not wrong, am I?
Huh?
I'm not
No,
wrong, am
you are
I?
not wrong.
Jesus ain't white.
He's sure right. And we just gonna leave it at that.
Mic
That's gonna
drop.
be a whole nother topic. Drop the mic on that
Okay,
one.
let me ask you another question about this whole disgraceful thing that we find ourselves talking about. Do you think then, like obviously, clearly we're here to talk about differences across the pond. You got
Right.
it going on there, we got it going on here. Do you think that leaders in countries should come together and work together to try and solve this out? Or do you think everyone should be like, you sort yours out, we'll sort ours out, and we go from there? Or do you think we
Well,
should
to be honest with you, it should be a joint venture.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because everybody has different thoughts on it, different opinions, just like we have different opinions. And just like we just found out that, like I just learned that you guys have Black History Month on a whole nother month,
Which is bizarre.
October. You know what I mean? And then we have ours in February, which is the shortest month of the year.
Okay, so this is what I mean. If they came together, they could just have. I get that English and American have got different history. They've got different. But what's to say I can't learn about Black history from America, and what's to say you can't learn about Black history from the UK? I'll say it again. We learned about Tutankhamun, and he's in Egypt. So why can't I learn about Black history from America? So why can't we have the same month and just talk about, well, not even the month, but if we have to have just 1 month, why can't we have a month and just learn about everything across the pond?
And then, I mean, but like I said, you'll get the meaty stuff about, you know, Britain and you'll get the meaty stuff like, you know, about the Queen and the royals. And, you know, I'm gonna tell you, people was ecstatic when that little redheaded boy.
Oh, Harry,
Prince Harry married that little mixed girl.
Okay, but look what happened.
That shook up Buckingham. I know that shook up the palace.
Look what happened. They chased him out.
I don't even think they chased him out. The one thing about love will make you do some crazy ish. And I'm gonna tell you, Harry wasn't having it. They was we don't know. I'm gonna be honest. We don't know what goes behind closed doors.
And you know what? You're never going to know the truth. You're never going to know.
Never going to know. But I'm going to tell you one thing, though. He rode with his lady, though. He rode with her.
And I totally 10,000% agree with that's how it should be. Even if he didn't agree with anything Meghan was saying, what she was doing, you would never know that because in the public eye, they stood together. Now, if behind closed doors, he said to her, Meg, come on, girl, sort it out, you know.
Tripping, girl.
You know what I mean? Tone
it
down. We won't know that.
But my grandma mad, yo.
Exactly. But the fact that he didn't embarrass her, show her up, he stood by, like you say, his woman, which is, whether you're in the public eye or not, that's how I truly believe it should be. So...
And I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go on, Harry, you the man.
I think everybody liked Harry even more. Like you don't even, to be honest, since they got married and moved out, you don't really hear too much about the royals anymore. Like what's his older brother's name? The one he going to end up,
Prince William.
Now his lady just been pumping out the baby, so I ain't mad at her. Okay, and she's smooth, but I'm telling you. That little mixed girl, and she comes from my state.
Ooh.
Just want to say it. And she comes from the white part of town too.
But can I just
she mixed and she holds it down. I ain't mad at her.
Even before Harry married her, he was the only royal that I had any time for. I don't get into the royals. It's not really my sort of thing. I'm gonna
tell you. I'm gonna tell you, I liked Harry from the gate because I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, you tell me why, then I'll tell you why I liked him.
Because he didn't have the pressure. He ain't had the pressure like William got. Like William got to stay on the straight and narrow. Everybody's eyes on him. Look, check this out. It had to be a freak of nature for something to happen for Harry to become king. He knows he ain't gonna become king. Guess what? So he wowed out. And he wowed out and he did like young man stuff. Like I always say people like when
Hmm.
like with my kids for example, people be like, oh man, your kids are, your kids were this, they were that. Yeah, but they did like teenage boy stuff. Like they weren't out here like, robbing banks, selling drugs or anything like that. But they did typical teenage stuff. And that's how I like Harry. Harry did typical teenage young man stuff.
And
And I was just like,
you know
yo,
what is
Harry
funny?
doing it.
Different stories, but that is the only reason I like him. Now, William's probably got to be like that because he is going to be king. Whether it's the Queen, his dad Charles, and then him, he's going to be king. There is talk that it should go from the Queen straight to William, and you should cut Charles out because he's a bit older. Who knows what they're doing? But anyway, the reason I liked Harry, I can't remember what birthday it was, but he went to Vegas, and do you know what happened? He got packed getting his balls out in a swimming pool. And I was like, go on, Harry. Do you know why? Because yes, he's a prince, but he is a young man. All boys do things like that. You still got to experience stuff.
I mean, like, and they both been in the military. And I think like now that he's older, like I felt like he done sold his little royal oats. Now he just want to settle down. He did all the partying. He did all the stuff that like a prince should do. Like he was wilding. And I was just like, yo, this dude does not care. But now that he's older, he's a little mature, like, what I mean, he got a little seed now. He got himself, what I mean, a red bone. You know what I mean? He chilling. And I like him for that. I respect him for that because he knows that he ain't gonna be king. He gonna have Prince forever. And
And
that's
let's
about
be
it.
fair, if you knew that, you would act the same. Like me, if my mum is a queen, but if she was the queen of the country, and it was like, oh, your sister's gonna be queen when she's gone, the only way you'd be queen is like, I'd be like, whoa, get me to the pub. Come on, woo.
Let me wild out. And then you never know how him and William are cool too. That's one thing I like about him too is that like him and his brother they don't really bug. Like we don't know what they do behind closed doors, but you never know. William be like, man, I wish I could have went to Vegas.
Well, you see, the thing is, there was a big thing before him and Meghan left the royals. There was a big thing that the two wives didn't get on, which caused drama between the two brothers. Who knows? It's probably just the media causing a big old flipping stir again, as per usual. But
But let's just jump back on the subject here. Black History Month needs to be more than
a month.
1 month. And I think we need to start introducing new heroines, new heroes
I think we should
as far
start a
as for the
petition.
Black community.
I think we should start a petition, to get the curriculum changed. Because this is our children we're talking about now. Excuse me, the future, not just our children, our children's children. We needs to be changed. I've just proven 50 years the curriculum ain't changed.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I did some research too, I bet you our curriculum ain't changed either. Like I said, we've been pounded with Rosa Parks, we've been pounded in the head with Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, segregation, um, the right to vote, all that good stuff. We've been,
Okay, can I ask you
busting
a
it.
question? Like we was talking about Black Lives Matter, and I said when you had the storming of the Capitol building, it was on the news here and stuff. When all that Black Lives Matter protesting was going on, did you get it on the news over there that people was, I don't mean to laugh, people were pulling down statues and chucking them in the river here? Because the thing is, there's loads of statues around about the country, mainly in London. This one happened to be in Bristol, where the guy, people will have to forgive me, well, I can't remember the guy's name in the statue, but basically he'd been a slave trader. He'd done something, obviously, to get a statue made, but the bottom line is he was also a slave trader. So they pulled the statue down and chucked it in the river, right? Which Fair play. And they done it to a couple. So that was, everyone was in up. Oh, why are you allowing them to get the statue?
But they were doing that here. Like we
But
got the Confederate flag and
but there's
they
still
were,
some like Nelson in London, like a big statue. They're saying he was a big slave trader. Why aren't they being taken down? You know, they got a
well,
point.
the president stopped all that. He
If
was
they're
like,
not
man,
going to
I
take
just
them
need to turn
down,
everything down.
if they're not going to take them down, they should at least put somebody else up to balance it out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. And I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy that the way society is now, that it took this long to start talking about the Confederate flag and these different statues that they hold up in, like, you know, a huge regard for, but yet these is the people that was enslaving us, taking credit for, you know what I mean, leaving us in the background. And now we tear down stuff and taking stuff down. Now everybody wants to go boo-hoo. You know why? It should have been tore down.
Can I just
why wait now? It should have been tore down.
Can I just say, along the same sort of lines, right? But I personally think our logo is the bomb. We've got white, black across the pond. It covers all male, female. It covers all bases.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we can't help it that, you know, we changing the game. So, Black History Month, we both agree that they need to really start focusing on, especially our new generation. I actually watched this show the other day. The kids don't even write cursive no more.
They don't write what?
In cursive.
Joined up?
In cursive.
Yeah, joined up.
What is that? Joined up?
Same as what you're saying. Joined up writing. How they teach you at school proper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't even do that anymore. What?
I remember going to school and you wouldn't be allowed, if your writing wasn't joined up, you wouldn't be accepted. You had to get a proper fountain pen with a little ink cartridge and you had to write joined up, otherwise they wouldn't accept it.
What? They wouldn't accept it? Like cursive, like, you know, my kids used to get mad at me. And they'll probably tell it to their kids and stuff. But like I'm a stickler on education, and I kid you not, cursive is one of the key know-hows. How are you supposed to sign your check in print?
But this is the thing. A lot of people, everything's done electronically now. So when you have to actually go back to writing, it's a bit like, whoa, my arm's aching, or oh, I forgot. Amount of people I've heard say, oh, I've forgotten almost what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Me, I love a good old bit of writing. I'd even get a feather and an inkwell if I could.
Oh, look at you. Little quills. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this. And if you guys feel the same way, the people who's watching this, put a comment.
And also, if you've got any other questions that you want us to either answer or look into about Black History Month, yo, it's here. Well, I was just about to say it's here for the rest of February. It's here 24/7, 365 days a year.
We're making it. We're going to start just dishing out some info every day. We're going to make that one of our missions.
I personally think there shouldn't be. Hold on. I personally think there shouldn't be a Black History Month. They should take Black History Month away and just incorporate Black history with the rest of history for the rest of the year.
That would be dope.
Because let's be honest, it's not like they have Black History Month, White History Month, and then whatever's in between. Nah. Yeah. So take a Black History Month away and put it for the whole of the 12 months, like it should be. Equal, even Stevens.
Yeah, and I can't help it that, you know, they let us into this country and we the bomb.
Oh, hell, you ain't going anywhere. Let's get that straight for a start. Because if you go,
Black people ain't going nowhere. And now you got Asians in the mix now. You got Spanish in the mix now. Mexicans is in the mix now. So I hate when people say, especially white people who will say, well, this is our land. No, it's not. It's the Indians' land.
And this is the thing.
Technically.
This is the thing I don't like about it, is when they say, not necessarily being specific about colour, they say all foreigners should go back to where they came from. Well, for a start, I wouldn't even be alive if foreigners never came to this country. Do you know what I mean? My grandma was German. My grandfather was from Ukraine. So if they hadn't have allowed foreigners into the country, I wouldn't even be here. And 9 times out of 10, I bet you any money, these racist people, if you went back in their family tree, they got black in their family somewhere. I'm telling you, back in the day, no matter how far you go back, I'm telling you.
This is what gets me though, because we America. America was built on immigrants. That's what gets me. It gets me fired up when people talk about build the wall, build the wall. For what? Because for the simple fact in America, that's all you heard when we was coming up. People don't travel from this country and that country. The melting pot is New York, hands down, because everybody came into New York and just was like, bada boom, bada bang. You had everybody mixing it up when it came to New York. You know what I mean? And then it just started spreading out. And then slaves came over here in slave ships, and they got the nerve to say, "Oh, this is our land." No, it's not, man. America has been built on immigrants, period. Immigrants, period. So this whole white is right, knock it off. Knock it off.
I totally agree. White ain't right.
You know, it is. Like you said, if you go back in everybody's family tree, oh, you got a little black in you somewhere.
And I'm telling you, if stood in front of me right now,
if you don't, you wanted some of that black in
you. Know what I mean? And I'm telling you for a fact now, if literally lined up against a wall was a white person, black person, Chinese person, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Arab, Indian, Asian, whatever, you had somebody lined up from every different culture, country on the wall, and you said, go like this, and you cut their wrist, do you know what? It's everybody red in there. Everybody's red on the inside.
Go, girl. Go. Everybody red. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was shocked because I met a woman. She looked white as a snowflake, and she didn't know a lick of English. She was Spanish as a mug. Didn't know a lick of English. I was like, dang, you look like Karen down the street.
But you know what? I bet she's still red on the inside.
I hope, yeah.
And this is the thing, we could talk about this subject. We've already done one topic on racism, and it's not going to be the last time we talk about it.
Well, no.
But
it's frustrating. It's frustrating to understand as a black man, you know what I mean? It's frustrating that we only get 1 month. But yo, they jacking our culture at every chance and every turn.
Listen, it's frustrating and like mind-boggling. I can't get out. Like mind-boggling. Why we got to have 2 different ones? February. It's not even like they're near each other. Totally opposite ends of the year, you know. And the most mind-boggling thing is the flipping history taught in school, man. It ain't changed. I'm so eggy about it, man, you would not believe.
You got it as like a semester, or it got sprinkled in. And like I said, on the month of February. So, you know, we had like Valentine's Day and Black History Month.
Listen, it makes me think I wish I'd have been a teacher, because I'd have just taught them what I wanted in school, man. I'd say, excuse me.
That's the reason why. And that's the reason why you're not a teacher.
I might have made it to the news at least. Come on.
You didn't made it to the news, and it would have been a controversy.
Teacher fired because she goes against the curriculum.
Teacher gets fired for teaching Black History Month on December.
That'll be me. Oh.
I love this topic. I love it.
I love the topic, and you know why? I just hope that. Oh God, I hope so many things, but I hope that people find it interesting when we do, you know, talk about these things. Interesting, helpful, eye-opening, whatever you want to say. Hey, my dad watches the show. Father, hope you learned something today.
Yeah, I think we all learned something today. And it's that uh, we need to start educating our children. If they say that history, if they don't want history to repeat itself, then we need to start focusing more on real history. Not to say that what we've learned
Hmm.
isn't, you know, informational or worth learning about, but I think it's time to really dig down deep and start educating our kids on and give us some new heroes.
Yeah,
Give
not
us some new
the
people to
thing is though,
read
it's not
about,
even
think
new
about.
heroes, is it? They're old. The ones that are already there. This is the
Yeah.
thing.
Let's hear some new empowering music to
Let's hear
influence.
some real history. Not new, and even new is history. It's already happened. Let's hear
Mhm.
about real stories about real people. Look how heated I've got. My cheeks have gone red. I can feel the
Yeah,
heat from here, man.
she in the zone.
I'm in the zone. And just as
because
we're
because
finishing,
like she said, she has a mixed child. I don't have any mixed children, but my children are black. So, and she has a child that's black. And you know what? You would want your kids to be raised to know everything, every facet about their culture, about the way they live, and the way about their ancestry lives, how their
exactly. And
ancestors
I've
live.
got mixed race friends, and sometimes, like, they might say, I don't belong anywhere, because I'm not black and I'm not white. And they touch on that in that This Is Us series. Obviously,
Mhm.
Matey's adopted by a white family and he's black, and he goes through the thing about saying, oh shit, sorry, goes through the thing about saying, I don't know what I feel like I belong. Why? They should belong both. They should belong everywhere. They're part of both sides. Shouldn't be where I don't belong anywhere. It should be I belong everywhere.
Agreed.
Agreed. Across the
Agreed.
pond.
Across the pond. Well, people, we can talk about this all day.
We could. We are fired up.
We will. Which we will bring it up again.
Oh yeah, because we got October, remember?
Mm-hmm. Because we got October. We got October, so we're gonna bring it up again.
Agreed.
But it's time to end the program, my people. We love y'all. And guess what? This is Soph.
Guess what? This is Rich.
And we are from Across the Pond, Serious
Oh.
Sunday.
Me if you ready to go. Across the pond with Rich and Soap.
What?
Holla at me if you ready to go.
Uh-huh.
Across the pond with Rich and Soap.
Yep.
Holla at me if you ready to go.
Uh-huh.
Across the pond with Rich and Soap. Now holla at me if you ready to go. Across the pond with Rich and Soap.
Now, can I just say, if I wasn't
Yes.
already, I'd want to go across the pond with Rich and Soph.
And I want to go across the pond with Rich and Soph as well.
So, anyone else who wants to come across the pond with us, jump on.
Let's ride.
Richylicious, I'd love to know next Friday if you're going to get snow.
Oh, I hope so.
No, go on. You better put it out there quickly before we cut it off. Normally you ask for one day. How many days off do you want? Because normally you ask for one and you get it and you moaned. A week
And I
off?
get 2 straight days.
2 straight days. You heard it here. It's in the universe. Rich wants snow 2 straight days in a row.
All right. So if you have a great week.
Yepper.
Yepper.